All right. This aspect was decided because I don't know what's more important to you. Excuse me. Seeing the charts or me telling you about it. Excuse me again. This video is number 6 on the D&D thing, AD&D thing that I got going on. I have been going on since 1979. But this is about character races. Now, I'm going to do this in chopped up versions. What I mean by that is, you will get to see this now and then. But I'm going to talk about it first. Because races in a place like Meridethian and Meridethian is very important because it's how you all interact with each other. Okay? Now, it says here under character races, it says, unless otherwise noted in this supplement, all races found in the Player's Handbook, PHB, I got 2 of them, remember, are considered common. Get it? All the races in the Player's Handbook that Gary Gygax created and these other guys took it over, is considered common. Now, under my chart, I'll give you a shot of it. I hope that was a good shot of it, but I'll read it anyways. It's considered a race rarity table for adventuring parties. Now, I've got 4 columns. First column is race. Second column is rarity. Third column is number per party. Important. And then the last one is any exceptional notes. And I've got them listed alphabetically. Like dwarf, mountain, dwarf, hill, dwarf, deep, dwarf, wild, dwarf, arctic. Yes, I did name all 5 types of dwarves. Now, the mountain dwarf is rare. There's only allowed to have 2 per party, and there must not be any deep dwarves in the party. Conflicts will happen. They will. Okay, the hill dwarf is uncommon, and you can have 4 in a party. But here's the kicker. There must not be any mystical elves. They don't just seem to get along. Now, the deep dwarf is uncommon, and only 1 allowed in a party. Here's the kicker. There must not be any mountain dwarves. They don't seem to get along very well. Now, the next few dwarves, there's not much restrictions. You got the wild dwarf. He's very rare. Only 1 allowed in the party, and there are no restrictions. The last dwarf is the Arctic dwarf. Uncommon, only allowed 1 in a party because of the rarity, and there's no restrictions. Here we go. Now we're going to move on to elves. I've got 3 races of elves, or 3 classes of elves, I should say. I got the mystical elf, the wood elf, and the prairie elf. The mystical elf. He's uncommon, only one in the party. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker for this one. Mystical elves, there must be no hill dwarves. They just don't seem to like each other. Now, you got the wood elf. He's rare. And you can have two. Two in a party. No restrictions. Now, the prairie elf. Now, think the prairie elf in Meridethian is a Native American. You know, teepees, yurts, and whatever. You know, mobile tribes moving around. That's a prairie elf. They're common. And there's no limit to how many can be in a party. And there's no restrictions. I got two giants. There's a half giant. They're very rare. Only one allowed. But, here's the but. No halflings. No Brimians. Yeah, they're from Brim. No Brimians. The next is the wood giant. Oh, the protector, yeah. Very rare. Only one allowed. And there has to be a wood elf in the party. Now I've got four gnomes, the rock, deep, tinker, and forester gnomes. The rock gnome is uncommon, the deep gnome is uncommon, and the tinkerer gnome is uncommon. But the forest gnome is rare. And you're only allowed one of each to be in the party. But the deep gnome, there must not be any dark elves. That's restriction there. Alright, we're done. We come down to the half elf. It's common, unlimited in the number in the party, and there's no restrictions. I got the halfling, which is rare. They only come from Brim. You'll see Brim. If you haven't noticed it already, I already showed you where Brim was. There can be four of these little Brimians in the party, but there must not be any half giants. Apparently they have an affinity. I got the half orc, rare, 2 per party, no restrictions. Half ogre, rare, 1 and no restrictions. Human, common, unlimited, no restrictions. Elf, dark elf, rare, 1, but there must not be any deep gnomes. And the last one, lizard man, advanced, very rare, only 1 advent, and no restrictions. I will get into the next video more about the races in the next video. I'm getting right in there, so I'll be right with you in the next video. Like, punch those buttons, buttons to press, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. It would be greatly appreciated. But meanwhile, stay cool.